Now, from your local news leader, this is 6 News.
Breaking news at this hour. A man is in custody after fire officials say he intentionally smashed into a Lansing firefighter with his pickup truck and then sped off from the scene. It happened right here at the intersection of Jolly and Cedar, and that's where we find our Alexandra Illich. She was on the scene just minutes after that crash. What's happening right now there, Alexandra?
Jane, it happened just before 4 o'clock this afternoon, and as you can see here, the scene is still very active. Lots of police and fire are investigating. Here's what we know now. Several Lansing firefighters were out here on Jolly and Cedar collecting donations for the department's Fill the Boot campaign when there was some sort of traffic altercation between a man driving a pickup truck and the firefighter. We're told the suspect in the truck passed the firefighter and then circled back around and deliberately hit the firefighter and then took off. Then police chased the SUV to the 3000 block of Lawdor Road. He was arrested there. Our cameras were on the scene minutes after that happened. This is what we saw there. A white truck with heavy front end damage surrounded by police SUVs, and as you can see here, the hood is crushed in and the firefighter was seriously injured and was taken to Sparrow Hospital. He is still there now. There's no word yet on whether or not alcohol played a role in this case, and again, police are still on scene investigating. Captain Jim Krause with the Lansing Police Department held a press conference just about a half hour ago with more details.
You know, we're all a family. So the fire chief is here because one of his firefighters is injured, and we're working on this as a team to make sure that the firefighter and his family have all the attention they need, and that the suspect is.
Thus, we will still be out here at 6 o'clock with more details, and we'll be updating you online and on air. Reporting live in Lansing, Alexandra Illich, 6 News. Back to you.
We're following developing news for you tonight. A Lansing firefighter is fighting for his life after being hit by a truck just hours ago.
And police say the driver did it intentionally. Now, the crash happened around 3:45 at the corner of Jolly and Cedar Street. Alexander Illich joins us now live from the scene tonight. What can you tell us, Allie?
Jane and Sherry, it happened just before 4 o'clock this afternoon, and as you can see here, police are still on scene investigating. Here's what we know. Several Lansing firefighters were out here on Jolly and Cedar collecting donations for the Muscular Dystrophy Association's annual Fill the Boot campaign when there was some sort of argument between a man driving a pickup truck and one of the firefighters. We're told the suspect in the truck passed the firefighter and then circled back around and deliberately hit the firefighter and then took off. Then police chased the SUV to the 3000 block of Lawdor Road. He was arrested there. Take a look at this video we have. Our cameras were on the scene minutes after that happened. This is what we saw there. A white truck with heavy front end damage surrounded by police SUVs. And as you can see, the hood of the truck is crushed in. Now, the firefighter was seriously injured and was taken to Sparrow Hospital. There's no word yet on whether or not alcohol played a role in this case. Again, police are still on scene investigating. For now, if you're traveling on those roads, both northbound Cedar lanes at Jolly are blocked off, and it's down to 1 lane if you're heading south on Cedar. Captain Jim Krause with the Lansing Police Department held a press conference just about an hour ago with more details. We also spoke with a witness who was standing by when the crash happened and tells us what he saw.
Standing over there talking to my friend, and I heard a loud noise like 2 cars had hit, and I look over and I see the gentleman's feet in the air, and then he fell, and I seen the car back up, take off. It's just a horrible thing because, you know, he was out here trying to collect money to help other misfortunate people, and now he's kind of the misfortunate person himself.
You know, we're all a family. So the fire chief is here because one of his firefighters is injured, and we're working on this as a team to make sure that the firefighter and his family have all the attention they need, and that the suspect is properly, or the investigation is properly done.
Be sure to stay with us on air and online. We'll, of course, bring you any updates as soon as they become available, and I'll have much more coming up tonight on 6 News at 11. Reporting live in Lansing, Alexandra Illich, 6 News. Back to you.
It's hard to put Dennis in words. He was probably the most fantastic human being I've ever met.
The Lansing Fire Department is mourning the loss of one of its own tonight. 35-year-old Dennis Rodeman was hit by a truck and killed while collecting money for charity. It's our top story tonight at 11. Thanks for joining us. Police say the driver did it intentionally. Now, the crash happened around 3:45 today at the busy intersection of Jolly and Cedar. That's in South Lansing. Rodeman was collecting money for the Fill the Boot campaign, a fundraiser for the Muscular Dystrophy Association, when there was some sort of argument between the man driving a pickup truck and Rodeman. Now, officials say the suspect in the truck passed Rodeman and then circled back around and deliberately hit him. The driver then took off. Police then chased the truck to the 3000 block of Lawdor Road. The driver was arrested there. Now, our cameras were on the scene minutes after that happened. This is what we saw there, a white truck with heavy front end damage surrounded by police SUVs. And as you can see here, the hood is crushed in, the front window smashed. The firefighter was rushed to Sparrow Hospital, where he later died. Fire officials held a news conference just a few hours ago. Our Alexandra Illich was there. She's been following this story from the very beginning. She joins us now live in studio with the very latest. What can you tell us tonight, Allie?
Well, Sherry, tonight, Lansing Mayor Virg Bernero, the Lansing Fire Chief, and Lansing Police Chief Mike Yankowski gathered together inside the fire station to update us on the investigation. We've learned that Dennis Rodeman had worked for the Lansing Fire Department for 7 years. He had served in the U.S. Marine Corps. He and his wife were married just about 2 months and expecting their first child.
The Lansing Fire Department has suffered a tremendous loss this evening.
Members of the Lansing Fire and Police Department stand with heavy hearts, mourning the loss of their fellow co-worker, family member, and friend. 35-year-old Dennis Rodeman, the 7-year veteran of the Lansing Fire Department, was tragically hit and killed by a 22-year-old this afternoon while he was collecting donations during the department's annual Fill the Boot charity event for the Muscular Dystrophy Association.
He was a very well thought of, highly regarded individual.
It's hard to put Dennis in words. He was probably the most fantastic human being I've ever met.
Lansing firefighter Charles Statt worked very closely with Dennis Rodeman for 7 years, working day in and day out with one another.
You know, he's one of the guys that he'd be the first one to take his shirt off and give it to you. You know, okay, we're going, you know, to help for a charitable event. You know, one guy doesn't come home. I mean, it's one of those things you can't really prepare yourself for. You know, to hear a brother isn't coming home and have to bury your brother, it's not easy. I love him like I love my own brother. I mean, I was just at his house last week.
This is a shocking and unthinkable tragedy. The loss of Dennis Rodeman is a blow to the entire Lansing family. Dennis Rodeman was a hero when he came to work here, having served his country in Iraq, and he's a hero at least 2 or 3 times over.
Lansing Mayor Virg Bernero says flags will fly at half-staff tomorrow at all city buildings, and the mayor's office is working with the International Association of Firefighters to help set up a fund for Dennis's family. We'll give you information on that as soon as we have it. We are expected to learn more details in the coming days as to what led up to such a tragic and senseless act. Right now, the 22-year-old driver is in custody and could face open murder charges as well as fleeing and eluding a felony. The Lansing Police Department is also asking that if anyone has any information on this case to contact them. That number is on your screen. Be sure to stay with us on air and online at WLNS.com. We'll have continuing coverage on the fallen officer.